Hey, it's Sunday morning, and I was doing a little bit of writing. Well, it's less writing, more note-taking. So often I just kind of read other stuff or listen to other stuff and kind of start congealing my notes for writing that'll happen over this summer as we do have episode 5 come out of the Anacrusis. With that, I always try to stress to other writers is make sure you're reading other stuff, not just like we're doing sci-fi, so I shouldn't just read sci-fi because I'm just going to be derivative of that and not bringing in something. And there's some really good examples, I think, of things that you wouldn't think of that could be a source. This is one I don't think people talk about. Maybe, I'm sure they talk from other sources, but Life is a Dream. It's written in 1636 by Calderon. Now I have a degree in theater, so hence I read a lot of plays, or had read a lot of plays, read this decades ago. This is The Matrix. 1636, they wrote The Matrix. If those guys didn't use that as some inspiration, somebody along their path of inspiration, right? Because you get inspiration, it's like phone tag with inspiration. That came from it. Another one that cracks me up often is I have 2 of these. It's a American Dictionary of Slang. They never made the 3rd one, so I only have A through G and H through O. They kept promising a 3rd one, they never did. Here, got as gifts. They're awesome. Of like you can just page through. I am not going to page through because it ends up a lot of slang is stuff that I don't want to talk about on here. I had to re-record this because I randomly grabbed one and I'm like, oh yeah, that is inappropriate. Yeah, but it's interesting to have that heritage and understand where those words come from and pull on them because often you could take something and have some fun with it. Like, so one thing that drives me crazy about the Avatar movies, that first Avatar, the guy's like, we're not in Kansas anymore. Are they really going to be still saying that phrase that many years later without any, like, are they? Like, that's just weird. That's just weird to me. That just stuck out, and that just really, really just nosedived for me. And I get, like, James Cameron's a genius. He wrote stuff that is so generic that it doesn't even need to be translated into Chinese, and it can be the biggest selling movie in China, right? That's how he wrote that. It's super generic. But if you don't want to write super generic, pull from other sources and pull from things and then make them your own. And so, yeah, that is what I'm kind of doing today. When I'm doing note-taking, I gather it, and it's for everybody, and it's just kind of see how it fits. And then when I eventually start writing characters, you do one at a time, and you kind of deep dive into that character because you want to avoid what I call the Gilmore Girl effect, right? Gilmore Girls, there's some seasons, you can't tell who's talking. They have the same pacing, they have the same language, and it's clearly like just written from start to finish by one person in one session versus going each character at a time and then combining the characters. It works for Gilmore Girls kind of because it gives a flavor of the show, but for characters where you want to have them feel and be their own, you want to make sure that you separate them. So note-taking is gathering, then I'll separate. Coming up.